Hey you guys, thanks for clicking on the video. I really appreciate you guys joining me. I have something for you today in this video. I'm going to continue with my discussion about Shanann Watts and some of the dynamics of the relationship with her husband Chris, because I feel that these things are important. And again, I really appreciate you guys joining me. If you're new here, I make a lot of different types of videos on different topics that I feel something about, that I feel like I can personally learn from and examine, and I might have some type of experience or a frame of reference with some element of that subject or situation, just different things like that, and I may feel that I have something I can contribute or share or pass along, and that we can all learn and grow from. So that's pretty much, kind of what I'm about. And I did fall into this case over a year ago. It really grabbed me. There are a lot of dynamics to the case, and I think that we all feel strongly about it. An innocent pregnant woman and her children lost their lives at the hands of someone that they loved and trusted. So yeah, it's a big deal. Really what it's about is some of the top complaints that I see across YouTube. I see it in the comments. I've seen it on Facebook. I've seen videos made about it. Some of the top things, maybe 3 or 4 of them, that people really obsess over when it comes to Shanann Watts. That they obsess over to the negative about her life. Okay? Here in just a few minutes, we're going to discuss a few of those things and what they are. The top things that we see across social media and in comments, these certain things that people focus in on about her, and they relentlessly bash. They relentlessly tear these few things apart. They're just obsessed with it, and it's just weird to me. It's crazy to me. All right, so we're going to get into that in just a minute. But yeah, I really appreciate the feedback that I've been getting from everyone. I appreciate you guys taking the time to do that. It means a lot to me. And if you're new here, hit like and subscribe, because like I say, I do put out all types of content on different things, and I will be continuing to put out things about the Watts case and different things about Shanann, just different things that are moving to me, or that I've learned something from, or that I feel like there's a need for awareness on. And let's get on into this video, because not only am I going to be discussing some of the top things that people focus in on and obsess over to the negative about her, but also within that, I'm going to be getting into a certain dynamic that I personally feel she had going on with Chris, that she and Chris had going on between the two, and that I have experienced before in my life, in my own personal relationship. It's in my frame of reference to pull from, and I can see these things in other people's relationships, okay? So, again, like I always say, my videos are for educational purposes only. Educational and entertainment purposes. In this case, just spreading awareness and educational purposes. I'm not out to disrespect Shanann's family or the victims or anything like that. So I just need to say that. I'm not advising anyone to do anything, take any action, and I'm not perpetuating hatred or violence or anything like that ever. Okay? I believe in discussing things, examining things, learning and growing through things on an emotional and spiritual level. That is what I'm pretty much all about. Okay? So, getting on into it. All right. So the top things that people really grab onto and obsess over, rather than, looking at the more beautiful aspects of her life, since she was a victim of a terrible murder, and instead of looking at the more beautiful things, these are some of the things that they literally grab onto and obsess over. The number one top thing that I hear and see in the commentary all across social media is her job. MLM, 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 MLM. It just goes on and on and on. The obsession with her job. The obsession with bashing her choice of career. Okay. I don't get it. I mean, hey, like, I don't particularly like Burger King. I wouldn't want to work there. I think sometimes their food sucks. They're putting out a shitty product. I wouldn't want to eat it that much. Wouldn't want to work there. But I have friends that work there and in restaurants like that. Like, you get where I'm going with that logic. Like, but I'm not going to sit up and bash my friends and say, well, you're just working for a shitty company and you're just up there selling shitty food to people. You're just ripping them off. You're just pulling a scheme. Like, do you get it? Okay, I know it's different circumstances. I get that. The multi-level marketing and pyramid, the whole situation, and Burger King, I get it. But do you get my logic? It's kind of similar. It's like, that's her choice of career. That's what she was at peace with in the moment. That was what she believed in the moment. Okay? So, one of the top things that people complain about and bash her and obsess over is her choice of career. Her job. How she was finding herself through her job. Her finding her identity through her job. Her purpose in that. That is one of the top things that people obsess over and take it apart. Number 2 would be how she interacted with and treated Chris. That's the number 2 thing I see people just obsessively going on about, and I feel personally that they're taking it way out of context a lot of the time. How she interacted with her husband, cut up, had him on camera, controlling him, all these things. That's another thing that I see people obsessing over, how she interacted with her husband, her demeanor with him. And the next thing would be the parenting of her girls, her mothering. That is another thing that people obsessively grab onto, tear apart, pick it apart piece by piece. She couldn't do anything right in their eyes. Oh, she was just so horrible. Oh, she was just traumatizing them. Oh, she never disciplined them. 1 minute they're this, and 1 minute they're saying that. And really, okay? And just to point out, one of those things to do with her mothering, here's one that I hear a lot. Well, she worked at home, then why did she need to take those kids to daycare? She just dumped her kids off at daycare. She didn't care about them. She didn't want to spend any time with them. It wasn't about that. She just dumped them off at daycare. And her job, back to that, just a big scheme. She was just promoting products that were going to make people sick, that were bad for people. Just a scheme. She didn't care. She just wanted to make that money and draw people into the MLM and okay, so these are the things that we hear, right? So to do with her mothering, and here's what I have to say about that. Just let's balance the perspective out. That's what I'm here to do. I like to balance the perspective out and give people a little perspective, different, coming from a different place. The key word here is work. People say she worked from home. Why did she take her kids to daycare? Are y'all like, and again, I say this in a lot of my videos, I don't think a lot of these people have kids. I don't think a lot of the people that are actually bashing her mothering and the way she operated have children at all. Because if they did, they would know what was up. Have you ever tried to concentrate at home with a toddler, much less 2? I did. I had 2 in diapers, 14 months apart. Mine are in their 20s now. Have you ever tried to concentrate on anything with 2 toddlers at home? I rest my case. Okay? You can't even cook dinner. You got to have baby gates. You got to constantly run in there and break them up, see if they're okay. You have to keep an eye on them constantly. And that takes extra energy and focus from your mind. And you can't quite give your all to whatever project you're trying to concentrate on. Whether it's your job, whether it's cooking dinner, whether it's cleaning. Okay. So this is where things start, to me, people are taking it and just blowing it way out of proportion, taking it way out of context, just to suit it to some nasty narrative that they want to have. It's unnecessary, okay? Because any parent knows you cannot concentrate with toddlers at home. So the key word here is she worked from home. So if she had her office at home, which she did, and she went on Facebook Live and she did a lot of promoting and packaging and paperwork and things that she needed to do, then how would she be able to really concentrate on that? That's her home office. It's just like you get in your car, vroom, 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 and you drive down to your 9 to 5. Do you take your toddlers to work with you? Or do you drop them off at daycare? Would you be able to concentrate at work with your 2 toddlers, even if they were in the playroom or across the hall or occupied for a minute? You would still be having that extra distraction of, oh my God, my kids are over there. I got to go check on them. Or, oh shit, I hear them yelling over there. Or you would still just feel unsettled and distracted, and you wouldn't be able to concentrate on your work. So that's all I'm getting at, you guys. Like, why is it even necessary? It's just the silliest fucking things that people come up with just to be nasty and negative and hateful about her and smear her name. Not cool. Not cool. So, you know, that's what people do. I have a little grandson. His mother works from home. She's got to be on a headset and on the computer, and she has things to do. And even her mom lives there too. The grandmother, the great grandmother of my little grandson. But they can't always watch him. They have things to do. And with that mother working from home, as much as she loves her son and likes to spend time with him, she sends him off to day school at least 3 or 4 days a week. Yep. Number 1, let's get into this parenting thing. Number 1, so that she can concentrate on her job. That's her job. And I know a lot of people, see, that my video is going to go there in a minute. How people want to bash other people's jobs and say your job doesn't mean as much as my job. That's not a real job. Okay, why don't we just not worry about people's choices of careers? If it makes them happy and it makes them some income, why don't we not worry about that? Why don't we worry about how happy we are with our job? Maybe people are hating their own jobs. That's what I think. Okay, so but yeah, number 1 reason why my grandson's mother sends her little boy to day school several days a week, so she can concentrate on her job. Number 2 reason, because he needs socialization. Now, he's an only child. I know Cece and Bella had each other. My 2 boys had each other. But children need socialization. They need structure. They need to get ready to go into the school system when a little bit older. It is good for them to go to day school, to be with other children, to have little activities to do all day, meet with other people, and learn to socialize. Very important. You don't think Shanann thought about that as well? When children get to be 3 or 4 years old, it's time for them to take their little butts on to the day school. I took mine. For several years, they got to go to an early preschool type place when they were both 3. My older one, and then when he turned 4 and the little one turned 3, he went to, they went to that before kindergarten, before pre-K. They went to a day school, and I had them in daycare for a little while too, because I did go to a job. I had to go to work. But I'm just saying, think about it, people. Have you ever tried to concentrate with 2 toddlers at home? And you don't want to be irritable with them. You don't want them to be in that stress. You want them to be having some activities and some good times with some other kids and getting some socializing. So that's why a lot of mothers who take their kids to preschool, daycare, and stuff like that, even stay-at-home moms that don't even work. Oh my God, the horror of it. That you would take your child to daycare several days a week and you don't even work. Okay. Again, for my mothers, think about it. Even if you're not holding down a full-time job and your husband is, or whatever, sometimes mothers need a break from their children. I mean, my God, we're human. Like, I don't get it. We have an identity. All of us should have an identity outside of our children, outside of our spouses. We should have an identity and something for us. All right, mothers need a break to be the best, most attentive mother that they can be. Sometimes they need a break. The children need to go to day school or preschool or whatever, okay? My mama sent us to every damn vacation Bible school that was available in the summertime, and my parents were not even close to being religious. It was funny. It was crazy. We had fun, though. We had fun. It would have been more fun than sitting there with my mom. So what's the problem? Think about it. Kids love going to day school. Kids love, most kids, they love getting to go see their little friends and have their little snacks and do their little thing. What's the problem? Why is she such a terrible mother for sending her children to daycare when she was actually holding down a full-time job? She was actually concentrating on business at home. So, you know, that's what I don't get. I just don't get the overboard problem with that, but, you know. All right, moving on. Now, I have a few little notes here. But these are some of the main things that people grab onto and obsessively focus on about this woman. Her choice of career, her job, how she parented her children, and how she got on with Chris, her demeanor. And so, moving forward, I feel like, because of my own personal experience, choosing to be self-employed too, I feel like she could have flexible hours, run errands, more family time, the home office, just lots of different reasons why she wanted to do that particular job, and I feel like she did believe in those products. I feel like they did right by her, so she believed in those products, and she wanted to share that experience with others, and she was finding herself and her sense of purpose within that job, still learning, still making mistakes like any human, still growing. Hell, she might have gotten rid of that job later on. We go through a process of elimination in our young lives. In our careers, our choices, we try things, we fail. We try things, we don't like it. We make mistakes, we change. Big deal. I think she really believed in the products. I think they did her right. They helped her life, and she wanted to combine her. I think at the very same time, she was finding her life purpose, learning about herself, making this important and in a way to help people, and at the same time, it was a career move, making her some income and trying to recruit people to do the same thing. That was all in one ball. I think that is exactly what was going on. We could see that from her energy, the way she spoke, things she spoke about. Come on. It wasn't just, why does it have to be this shallow? It was just so evil and so scheming, and those terrible products, and she was just trying to scheme people and rip them off, and it was just all about selling her products and making her money. She didn't care about anyone, and why does it have to be all that? How do you know? How do you know? Just saying. You know, and I feel like clearly from people that can actually tune in and intuit and read energy and listen to the tone of voice and watch the eyes and read body language, it's clear to see that Shanann Watts was very genuinely believing in what she did. Hey, sometimes we all make mistakes, and we really believe in something that turns out not to be so great. You know, things like that happen all the time. But of our heart and our mind at the time, we thought what we were doing was right. With integrity, we believed in it, and we were, you know, I really think she was coming from a genuine place. That's what I felt off of her. It made her feel like she was helping to change lives at the same time. They do. People always have something to say when you're doing you. When you're feeling yourself, finding yourself, happy about something, passionate about something. People always have something to say when you're doing you. In a big fucking way. When you're going at it strong, boy. They got something to say about it, I know. Finding success and popularity, and many will hate you. Yeah. Many will hate you for that. So, I mean, what do they want? People just drudging off to some job they hate every day, would that make her a better person? Well, what do those people want? Dog tired, working 3 jobs, no family time. Like, what did people want? I think she wanted a career where she could find all of it. Fulfillment, purpose, identity, good money, more family time, more time management. I think she wanted to find something with all of that, and I think she was finding that with Lavelle and selling Thrive. Big deal. So what? I mean, I don't understand, like, why do people want to take that from her? Because I've experienced that same thing in my own life. Why do people want to take that just focus in on that job, and why did they want to take it from her? Why did people not want Shanann to sell Thrive? Why are people so bent up in her business and hating on her? What do people have against Shanann's career choice and her being happy and fulfilled and finding her purpose? And if that was what was doing it for her in the moment, and she thought she was really helping people, and some people she really did freaking help. I don't know of anyone that Thrive harmed. I don't get it. I don't understand where this is really coming from with people. So just some perspective for you, just some perspective. Yeah, I'm just like, why does it matter so much that she worked for MLM? So what? It wasn't you. You weren't doing it. So what? It didn't affect you. So where does this extreme bashing and hatred and obsession with that come from? I don't get it. Okay, but yeah, I worked in the food service industry for many years, and I had a housekeeping business, and I work for DoorDash now, but I at some point, I wanted to make a change, and I went and started working with Uber when they first came out, and then over to DoorDash, and I started increasingly loving being self-employed a lot more than all the years I spent in the restaurant business or on the clock or whatever, and I, too, as a woman and as a person trying to find life balance, I can kind of relate to Shanann in the self-employment arena, because I had my damn reasons. Scheduling reasons, family time reasons, just life balance reasons. And I also wanted to be free to have more time for my creative pursuits, my hobbies. I wanted to be able to make decent money on my schedule, and I think she was the same way, finding all of that. And you know, I had my plan. I knew how I wanted my goals to turn out, what was for me. But for the first year or so that I was doing that, all I heard was crap out of a lot of people. People's opinion on my job. And you know, the main people that did that, I didn't hear it from the really self-aware, emotionally intelligent people who actually loved and cared about me the way, you know, someone should. No. The main people I heard that kind of stuff from was people who were either jealous, people who weren't doing anything at all with their life, people who were unhappy at their jobs or unhappy in their lives, or people that wanted to use me for their own agenda, and angry with me that I was focusing on my goals and my choice of job and doing something for me. Those are the kind of people that I would hear it from. Yes, toxic people, yes. Because most of the time, healthy-minded individuals with emotional intelligence and self-awareness, they don't get in other people's business about their choice of job and their choice of career. They don't tear all that apart. They're like, that's your business, whatever makes you happy, do what you do. You know what I'm saying? Okay, it's just kind of weird to me. But yeah, I would hear, that's not a real job, just a waste of your time. You should be doing this or you should be doing that, right? How about, let me do what makes me happy. Let me do me, you know? And all sorts of opinions and whatever on my career choices, and I was fierce about protecting my right to choose to be self-employed, no matter who liked it, no matter what their opinions were. I got pretty damn fierce and adamant determined to protect. I know what my plan is. You let me make my mistakes. You let me try what I want to try and fail my way, and I will work through that, because that's how I learn and grow. You don't tell me. You don't set the standard, the bar for what my career choices need to be. You don't know what I'm creating and what I've got planned on and where I'm going with what, and if I'm going to stick with that forever or what I've got in alignment, just like people didn't know that about Shanann Watts. You didn't know what, you can't take that away from somebody. No, okay? So, sometimes it's just that simple. We know where we're going with our career. We're happy with it. It's fulfilling to us. We're finding ourselves. We're going through a process of exploring and examining careers or things we might want to do in life. And it's just that fucking simple. No more, no less. No evil Decepticon plan to rule or ruin the world or con people or scheme them out of something. Sometimes it's really just that simple. We're doing what we do. And again, I just feel like the girl was working on finding herself, career-wise, spiritually, emotionally, her purpose, all that. And at the same time, trying to cover all the bases. Be a good mom, good wife, but yes, very determined and fierce about her goals and success. Now we're fixing to get into something here. This is going to lead us into a little conversation real quickly about some of the dynamics going on between she and Chris. Some envy and some resentments and some things that having to do with having a strong personal identity in something for yourself and a person that has none, that doesn't have that.